Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. Stoic One, South African Red Pill, and all the people that I've been mentioned. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. I had to push this show to this hour because guess what? I had to go out there and get Sunday salmons and bring it out here to the streets for some of you who are not really into all that or taking the time to receive that good word. Because, the things that we ingest, it's not only food that we supposed to focus on, whether good or bad, but words also is very important. They said in the beginning was the word. So you have to listen to the word. So today, we have a video here that I want to break down. It's from BBC, quote unquote, Hard Talk. And one thing I've noticed for some reason, I mean, not all, but, since I've been paying attention quite a bit about, like when it comes to, like, for example, cancel culture and what is considered racist and stuff like that. But I've noticed the Black British, for example, the Black British that they bring out, I'm beginning to think, okay, I was thinking, I said, Black people in the UK versus the Black people in America, who is more fragile or who's more brainwashed? And when I listen to some of these Blacks from the UK, they seems to be way more fragile than American Blacks, but the focus is on America. And for some reason, I think not, I know for a fact, I can pinpoint it, but there is a plan in place where, they want to continue to victimize Black people in America. And you're going to ask me, Afridamus, how is that possible? Because you see, when a person wants to control you, they have to make you angry. If you're not angry, you cannot be controlled. See, when you become angry, you lose all rational thoughts. You cannot think for yourself. Because if you look at, the video that I'm about to play here, right? It's an interview. It's a Black British Jezebel that works for the BBC. And I've been noticing the BBC, they are in the business of brainwashing. They're no longer in the business of doing news. You see, these people, they keep repeating these things. They talk about it. If there is never a counter to it, if you've never heard a counter to it, no opposition, you would think what they are saying is in fact true. If you live in America as a Black person, think about it for a minute. Why is people who are not Americans, right? Why are they so vested in trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't be upset about? Have you ever thought about that? So you notice why when I say no such thing as racism, is either good or bad. You will understand from this video. Because if you look at it, you as a black person, think about it in America. When they go on CNN, MSNBC, and all those stations, the things they are promoting to say is racist. It's never from you, the black person. It's not black people saying this is what is racist. When black people point out what is supposed to be racist, that is ignored. Nobody wants to talk about that. But it is a white person telling you what you should be upset about. But they notice there has been pushback about it. Now they have to use a black face. And that brings me to why I'm saying not all black people are the same. They are using this flat black thing, to come and try to brainwash you. Because you see, when you try to identify and say, oh, all black people are the same, they all think alike. Now you have opened yourself up. You have opened yourself up to be brainwashed. You have opened yourself up to being used by people that look like you. Because even in America, if you look today, a lot of the people they put in the front and say, oh, just to try to convince you, mind you, they are saying, oh, they are black just like you. But who employed those people? Because you see, if I employ you, you're furthering my agenda. So it doesn't matter if the person is black, white, blue, or green. So this woman that I'm about to present is no different than any of these people. And unfortunately, majority of black people, whether in America or in the continent or in the UK, when you see them being put in this position, these people do not care about what they are preaching. When they use the black plight, imagine they are putting you, me, and everybody that swallow this poison, they are putting us in a disadvantaged position. Because you look at it in the UK, for instance, they've almost pretty much, you can look at the British, their media, and some of the black people that come on YouTube here, and some of these people are even second generation Africans. Listen to them. Listen to how brainwashed these people are. I've even heard these people, they've convinced them that America is so racist, but they would say things that is happening in the UK. I can assure you that's not happening in America, but they're telling you America is racist. Black people are not facing those things here in America. If someone is telling you where you can move to, where you can stay, I don't see, where it's like there's no free movement. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just going by what I see in their media and some of their people that come out here on YouTube and they express these things. They've been brainwashed completely. So now they want to say, okay, we're gonna brainwash the black people in America. Last week, last week or so, I played a video here about the Wakandan city, and I've seen some people, they were upset. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason, again, somebody has to be an opposition to these things, because you know how propaganda work. If they keep repeating it, keep telling you the same thing over and over, and you're not hearing any opposition, pretty soon you start believing it. And you wouldn't even ask any questions. Why are these people saying what they are saying? Who's putting them up to this? You have to ask these questions. It's pretty important. Okay? And I'm not saying, like this, for example, someone is saying, Zainab, this Zainab did good series. I watched her series. And even when I was watching those series, I was very suspicious of her, because that is not Zainab Badawi's own doing. And you will see, if the video I'm about to play, if this is this woman's thought process, if this is her thought process, then this is dangerous to black people in general. Because what they are trying to do is to try to shame people See, the way now things work, for instance, like me right here, Afridamus talking to you guys. I am not popular, right? But once I become very popular, they would bring somebody like her to try to shame me for what I'm doing here. And you would see that same exact thing here. They want to play God. They want to be the ones to control your thought process. Where is this coming from? So that's why I said you cannot subscribe to that flat black ideology, because now, because people's idea of being black is they are imposing their own will on you. But you're not allowed to practice or express who you are. It's like they want to create how it's supposed to be. They even want to create your speech. This is what they are doing. But look, today I'm going to get quickly into the video. But before I do that, you guys know I play the church music here. We have a new church music because now everybody's doing their own rap music. So I decided to bring you something new so you can, before we get into it, I would show you this woman's conversation with Trevor Noah. And I'm not saying she didn't do good with those documentary series. I really enjoyed those documentary series. But that doesn't mean that, we're not going to speak the truth when we see something that is left field. So I'm going to play the Pan-African church music. It's different today. So, don't be confused.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. What's the problem? I'm pulled up. Big flex, my swole up. Hard body, they fold up. Shawty say I done glowed up. Double text on my phone up. Fuck with your boy, I'm the man of the year. I'm not a fan of your peers. Serve him a fate, I'ma hand him the shears. He not the man of your peers. Heart of a lion, I'm trampling fears. I love the man in the mirror. Cry me a river to stand in the tears. You better stand in the
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that new series here today. But you see, that's what it is. Sometimes you have to change it up, because, hey, people are over there in Ghana making rap music and stuff. Hey, with great technology, you can make great rap music yourself. So this is beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to go into, this video here for you guys to see for yourself. And I'm going to add my 2 cents. Because what I'm seeing here is like, this is the weirdest thing. I don't even know where to begin. They bring this, black Jezebels and say, oh, we put you in a place. But they are furthering somebody's agenda. They're furthering somebody's agenda. Hey, just because we're all black, that doesn't mean you get to tell me how I can speak or what should be funny to me or what shouldn't be funny to me. Like, who are you to do that? But this is what they are doing with Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is from South Africa. His father is white, his mother is black. So, Trevor, he's a funny guy. I've watched his shows. The guy is pretty funny. And I understand the context of his comedies that I've seen. But he's going to stand up for himself and put this Jezebel in her place. And again, it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy her documentary series. I mean, that's not what I'm saying here. But even the devil does good stuff sometimes. So I don't want to keep you waiting. Let me bring Zainab Badawi's interview with Trevor Noah for you to see for yourself.
Observations have very much formed, at least in the early stages, the backbone of your stand-up comedy career. Do you now regret some of the jokes you made? And let me give you an example. You said, my mother, black South African, was saying, get me a white guy, get me a white guy. Well, my father was white Swiss. Of course, he liked chocolate.
That sounds funny to me, even when you say it. That sounded really funny. Why would I regret that?
Why would you regret that? Because some people say that's not really very funny.
But
do you guys see how hypocritical this is? So this woman comes and sits in front of Trevor Noah. I understand that is hard talk, whatever they want to call it. And I noticed, because these British people, they are so hypocritical. They are snakes in the green grass. America, I want you to wake up and understand. 1776 is still alive. The British, they haven't gotten over 1776. These are the most controlling people on planet Earth. So all this chaos you're seeing, people like, oh, you're not counting the British. You only pointing fingers at what's going on in America. These British are the most dangerous and most divisive groups of people. Think about it, a small island that was able to travel around the world and control many, many large territories. How do you think they did it? It was by poisoning the people's minds. And they haven't given up on America. So America is still under their radar. They haven't gotten over getting kicked out of America, back in 1776. They want America back. So now they're looking at it as an opportunity, because you look at it there, this hard talk thing, right? First, they used to have like that, that Arab looking guy, Mahdi. In fact, I challenged that guy on Twitter one time. We went back and forth for a little bit, but then he tucked his tails, between his legs and ran away. Because this guy, everything, he calls it racist. Everything. I'm like, dude, you're an Arab. Can we talk about the Arabs enslaving Africans? But you see, he didn't want to talk about that. But he wants to point fingers at white people, saying, oh, the white people are racist. Let's talk about how the trans-Saharan slavery, how the Arabs used to capture Africans, buy them into slavery, and castrate them so that they can guard their harems. Let's talk about that. I said, because this is like the pot calling the kettle black. But you see, the British, they do stuff like this. They probably sit there, drinking their tea, talking about, let's just put this person there. They would relate to that. So now, they want to control the speech of Trevor Noah. This is the beginning of cancel culture, because you can see they are trying to even cancel, what's his name? Dave Chappelle. That's not working well, because you see in America, people have freedom of speech. In Britain, they brainwashed the people there, to a point they're shaming the white people. They're trying to do the same thing here. The same thing. Audrey, I get it. It's 4 years ago, but it's relevant today, because of all the things that are happening. It's very relevant today. There's a reason why I'm playing this, because of what is happening here in America. Okay? So now, this woman is telling Trevor Noah, asking him the dumbest question ever. Did he regret making the jokes that he was saying about his own mother, by the way, his own mom? You are not his mom. You're not related to Trevor. Who the hell are you to even talk about this? And this Zainab Badawi, she's a Sudanese Arab. Why doesn't she talk about what the Arabs, the Janjaweeds and their Arab territories, was doing to Southern Sudan, and they probably continue to do it. She should be the last person being involved in this, but I'll let it continue so you guys can see how dumb she is.
People love. Everyone can say something is not really funny. This is the way some people don't
But
like
is it
Indian
more than
food.
that? Okay, let me give you an example. We have a very well-established black comedian in Britain called Lenny Henry.
Yes.
And he has said that he regrets doing that kind of joke where he said he would wipe his sweating brow and say, huh, I'm leaking chocolate.
But that's different.
Well, it's not. It's using chocolate, isn't it?
But that is different.
Well,
the Swiss love chocolates. Is not a term that is
you're referring to your mother's
pejorative.
Skin color as chocolate. What he
Yes,
says.
because my mom is proud to be dark, beautiful chocolate.
Yeah.
People, how many black people, black people go around, they love it when we say, you're black chocolate, you're dark chocolate. But you see what they are doing. They're trying to make everything offensive. And she's giving him an example saying, oh, Lenny Henry, said he regretted it. Hey, maybe Lenny Henry is a weak beta male. Maybe he's a sellout. Why should Trevor Noah do exactly what this Lenny Henry, whoever the hell this guy is, did? Do you guys see what I'm telling you? In England, this UK popular blacks, they have complete control over them. Complete control. They get them to say what the people, I'm talking about these liberals, the New World Order people, they have them on a leash. They're working for them. They want them to say things. And now, just because Lenny Henry regrets it, now Trevor Noah has to regret his own joke. Are you serious right now? This is what they are doing. But they would eventually get into even Black America. Black America, you better wake up. I understand some of the things I say, come up with, you get upset. But if you take the time and listen to what I'm saying, you would understand that I am not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to wake you up to what they're trying to put you to sleep to. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to give you something to think about. And this is not just black people in America, black people all over. You need to simmer down and start acting as a human being instead of attaching yourself to a color. Not all black people think alike, feel alike, or see things alike. This is very normal. Ask yourself for a minute, what other people do you see they are doing this to? What other people? She's not going to go sit in front of a white person and say, oh, like she's not going to go sit in front of Matthew McConaughey and tell him, oh, you should regret a movie you did because some white British guy regretted it in England. They wouldn't send her to go do this, but she would do it with Trevor. So Trevor should regret referring to his mother as a chocolate, when in fact, black people are proud of this. My mom used to call me a chocolate. What is wrong with it? But now they want to make this offensive. How many black women you say here, they say, oh, I'm a dark chocolate. It's a compliment. But I'll allow you guys to see. My thing is, this Zainab Badawi, if this is her own thought process, I don't know, man. There's something warped in her head. This can't be real. This can't be real.
That's what she's saying. Wow. And this is, in the book, I talk about this as well. I go, I saw people and race as chocolates.
I wouldn't use that. I'm that color, and I wouldn't say that.
Listen, when I grew up, I believed that all people were chocolates. My mom was dark chocolates, my dad was white chocolates, and I was milk chocolates. So I see
So
all
you
people
see that as funny, but do you not
as
realise that
chocolates.
some people might not like that? And Lenny Henry went on to say that joke about how he was leaking chocolate. He says, I knew there had to be a better way of trying to put the message over, putting your jokes over without having to pick on people because of their colour or because of their race.
Yes, but
Is his view is different from yours?
because he's Lenny Henry and I'm Trevor Noah.
Yeah,
He
but
was
he's
talking-
also, he's black.
Yes, but he was talking about leaking chocolate, implying that his skin color was not something that belonged to him. That is a different
He's not,
joke.
he's
That is a
just trying
different
to say
idea.
that his skin colour is
No, no,
chocolate.
no, no, no.
You're splitting hairs here.
No.
You guys see what this Zainab Badawi is doing? So she is speaking for this Lenny Henry. She wasn't in Lenny Henry's head. But again, because these people, this is what they do. Because they went to the 13th or 14th grade. Now, all of a sudden, they think they know better. Just because you read some books doesn't mean you speak for everybody. Trevor Noah's joke, I've never heard anyone say this chocolate joke was offensive. But these people got together and decided that they get to tell you, me, and everybody that this is supposed to be offensive. Do you guys see what I said in the beginning? When it comes to all these, what is racist, what isn't, is somebody else trying to decide it for you. Now she's trying to put up the argument. This is crazy.
But that is exactly what we should be doing. Because what you're doing is creating.
I'm not sure I
You're
would.
creating
I'm not
racial
sure
jokes.
I would say.
No, you're
what
creating
you said.
monoliths. You're creating monoliths of jokes, and that's not fair to do. Every single joke has a context. Every single joke comes from a place. The most important thing with comedy is context. Without context, no conversation is complete. Without context, no communication can
But
truly
somebody
be
could
appreciated.
take that out of context.
Yeah, there,
and
you've said
so
it.
I'm putting it to you then. Are you not, given what Lenny Henry said, are you not guilty perhaps with some of your routines or a joke like that, reinforcing prejudices and
So have you guys noticed the type of language, the words she's using? Are you not guilty? Like these people think they're high and mighty. They get to decide for the rest of us what should or shouldn't be offensive. So who decided that black person being referred to as chocolate skin? Who decided that that was offensive? Who decided it? Please, this Zainab should tell us that. If you're too sensitive, you don't need to be listening to this type of things. The man didn't go saying, oh, everybody's chocolate. No, he's talking about his mother, his own mother, his own mother. So what is she talking about? This woman is not making sense, but we'll allow her to try to make dumb arguments because the man clearly told him, I am not Larry Henry or whoever the guy is, which is true. He's not that guy. If that guy feels that way, that's that guy. He is Trevor Noah. But she's not listening. She wants to dictate what the conversation is supposed to be. And you guys are going to see a pattern here with the Wakandan lady, the one that said they're building Wakanda. You guys are going to see a pattern when it gets to the American part. This is why, like they're constantly using words, phrases to try to make black people in America angry, to separate them from being American so that they cannot be proud of America, to pull them away from their real heritage. You will hear that here. And I hope you understand. As a black person, if you're in America, you're from America, don't allow other people to tell you about who you are, who you're supposed to be. Obviously, these people have, they have weird sense of humor. Their way of thinking is dangerous. You should just take them, you laugh at them. That's all because I'm laughing at it. How silly this is. So you sat in some room and decided chocolate is offensive. Chocolate. They are saying chocolate is offensive. I don't know what they are doing to these blacks in the UK, but something isn't right. This is crazy.
Promoting stereotypes in the minds of people who may be inclined to think like that, and then they'll think, oh, Trevor Noah says his mother's chocolate, I'm going to go around saying that to my black friends, and they might take offense. You could be reinforcing prejudice.
You could be doing anything if you are not doing the opposites. How your action is implied does not define what you were doing.
Okay, let's look at another aspect of.
So she's saying that white people, literally, she's claiming white people are dumb. If they hear Trevor Noah say this, they would just go and start calling their black friends, chocolate. Do you understand how crazy this is? This is crazy. Oh, Audrey said Zainab Bidal represents all black Brits. No, I don't think so. I do not think she represents all black Brits. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying the ones I have seen in the media, I thought the blacks in America in the media, are crazy with this. But the British ones are they take it way too far. Way too far. I mean, at least like it seems like the blacks here in the media, they still have common sense. Common sense. But these are the type of languages they're trying to introduce into America, trying to kill the craft of making jokes. You want to beat the guy down for expressing his own experience. Look, the things I talk about here, I cannot control how someone is going to receive it or how they're gonna interpret it. I don't have control over that. I mean, are some people gonna see it as good? Sure. Some are gonna see it as bad as well. But that doesn't mean that should stop me from saying the things that I'm saying. Plain and simple.
Grace, you moved just a few years ago to the United States. Your routine as a comedian often.
MC, I totally agree. She was sent. She was sent to go do this to Trevor Noah. Because I haven't heard anything offensive here. Nothing offensive. But because the man is popular now, they want to take him down. That's the beginning of it. Okay? Because they are doing it to other comedians in America. It's called the cancel culture. And mind you, they're trying to cancel people, and you're here promoting other people's agenda who are not even blacks. It is not black people saying this word is offensive. It is not black people. But you are just making this assumption that a white person is going to call their black friend chocolate. So it's not offensive until a white person says it. Now all of a sudden it's going to be offensive. You think a white person referring to me as chocolate skin is going to upset me? Oh, many black people is going to upset them? This is silly at best. But let's hear Smart Zainab. I agree with MC. This sounds very spiteful. Very, very spiteful.
Mimicked Africans and also African Americans. And about African Americans, you have said this: you are not African, but we play along. It's a very loose term, African American, because half the time you use it for people who aren't even African. As long as you're black, they say African American.
I didn't deliver it like that. You're not doing my jokes justice.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm not Trevor Noah and I'm not a comedian.
No, but you see,
satirist. But I'm just asking, are they not African American?
Here's what you're missing. What you're doing right now is the equivalent of me saying, now it's raining more than ever. I'll be here with you forever. You can always be my friend, standing under my umbrella. Ella, 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 A, 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 Ella, 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 A, 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 A. I seem like a mad person right now, because I'm not doing everything that was within the context of the song Umbrella by Rihanna. When you are doing comedy merely by words, I spoke it. My eyes, my voice, my connection with an audience is completely different. People can see when you are being playful. People can see when you are saying
So you're
something
being playful about
that you don't believe. That is what
So you-
satire is,
okay,
though. You're
fine.
poking.
Do you guys see? I'm so glad, you know, Trevor Noah put the mirror right in front of her to, you know, let her know you are a crazy woman. Of course, you know, like black people in America, even if they say African American, they know that they are not Africans. They know they are descendants of Africans. You think that joke hurt black people's feelings to say they are not Africans? And saying that, oh, do you even call other people who are African Americans who are not Africans, like people from the Caribbean? So they have this agenda where if they say African American, this is the part that I understand where ADOS is coming from, even though sometimes they're not expressing it the right way. But I understand. It's like an agenda to try to force Black Americans to not identify with America, but to identify with Africa. So this woman, she's not American. Her people are directly from Africa, and she's a Black Brit. What interest does she have trying to convince, being upset or questioning someone, referring to Black Americans as not Africans, but they're Americans? Why would she be upset at that? You don't think Black people in America know that they're Americans? But it's weird that they want to promote this. And one time someone said this here, actually, on this very channel. It was a Black person. They said they believe there is an agenda to try to remove Blacks, majority of Blacks, out of America to make them focus to go to Africa. Listening to this makes me wonder, you know, like I'm thinking like, okay, whose agenda is this? There has to be. Why is it important to refer to Black Americans as African Americans? Why? Why is that important? Why it's like they have this secret, so they're trying to shame Trevor. Trevor, don't you dare wake them up to this truth. As if Black people don't know that they are Americans. This is crazy. And again, this is why I keep telling you, identifying as skin color can be dangerous for you. It can be, because they would bring someone like her. You don't think like her, you don't have the same ideologies, but she can brainwash you if you are not thinking straight. You're not questioning it. You don't know whose agenda she's pushing. It's definitely not your agenda, because she's trying to put things in your head and make you follow that. And that's not even in your best interest. This is crazy.
Holes.
So you're
So in
so
that,
you don't believe what you say
no,
there?
no. What you're leaving out in that whole joke is what I was talking about, was how in America, Anglo-Saxons had successfully removed Americanisms from minorities. So every single group in America had an identity attached to the Americanness except white Americans. So it's African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, Latin American, Native
Well, you
American.
don't know. You have
and
Irish
yet,
Americans,
no,
they're
no, no,
white,
no,
you
no,
have
no, no,
Polish
no, no, no.
Americans.
But that didn't become on a box. And this is a joke for Americans. Understand that. So as an American, they understand this.
All right,
On the boxes, there is no Irish American. There is only
fine,
white.
but not looking
But there
at-
is African American and there is Asian American.
But you know,
and there, do you get what I'm
all
saying?
right,
So
I do get
that's
what you're
the
saying,
whole point
but
of
the
the
point
joke.
I'm trying to make is that there was a shift amongst the Black American community to start calling themselves African American. They didn't want a
Yes.
definition by default, i.e. you were not white, so therefore you were black.
Yes.
They wanted to have a hyphenated identity that linked them with the continent of their ancestors.
No, this woman is completely wrong. Why would, like, it's not majority of Black people that want that hyphenation. That is not true. This is something that is pushed on them. You think if black people have the power to create the box that people have to check, you think they're gonna call themselves African American? They're not gonna do that. Why would they? It's not in their interest to lump themselves up with everybody from all over the world. Just simply, if you're black, you gotta be in our group. That's not what they want. You hear the ADOS people, they talk about this all the time. They talk about this all the time. I get it. Some people are saying it's called hard talk whatsoever, but it's also an agenda being pushed. Because I remember the other guy, the Mehdi guy, I follow that guy. He has an agenda as well. That guy, at best, he's a terrorist. They have an agenda. Yeah, people might not see just the surface and say, oh, this is just, called hard talk. No. There's an agenda that's been pushed here. That's what's been pushed here. So it's not just, come on. Why would they just put this program up and go at Trevor Noah like this? What do you think they're just doing it just because? That's not what media is about. It is there to send a message. It is there to brainwash a group of people. Like right now, you go follow BBC, even on Instagram. Look at what BBC's agenda is. Just go look at what BBC's agenda is. These people are in the business of trying to reprogram people's minds. That's what they are doing. And for some reason, they want to program black people's mind here too in America. This is why they are using a black face to do it, attempting to do it, speaking for black people as if black people are children or they are retarded or whatsoever, as if black people cannot speak for themselves or decide, what is offensive or not offensive to them. They need you, Zainab Badawi and BBC, to come and do this for them. This is wild. If anyone doesn't see what is wrong with this, I'm not mad at you. Not all of us can see things for what they really are. But, as time goes on, you would wake up to the reality and see what is going on here.
Ancestors. And therefore, when you say, oh, they're not really African, they're playing along, you cannot disconnect what you say from this debate that's really, captured the imagination of the African American, Black American community. And also, the point I want to make to you is when you say that, it now feeds into a debate that's current in the United States. For example, Kwame Kwei-Armah, the Black Britain theatre director in the United States, says he has conversations with African Americans now who are saying, we want to go back to being called Black American because we don't have anything in common with this recently arrived African Americans, be they Somalis, Nigerians, South Africans, such as you, they have different language and so on. So what you say feeds into that debate, and it sounds like you're saying there is a difference between African Americans and Black Americans.
Yes, there is a clear distinction. There's a difference. Again, she's trying to play mommy here. No, Trevor, do not point out the difference. Of course, there's a difference. These people do not operate in real world sense. So again, she's treating black people in America like they're children, like they gotta speak for them. No, they don't notice the difference. So Trevor, you saying it is just getting them to see it. Black people in America, the ones that are smart, they want to be referred to as Black American. They are not with all this African American mumbo jumbo stuff, because I don't blame them, because it doesn't even make sense. If you are not born in Africa, why would you refer to yourself as an African? It doesn't make sense. But you see, they're trying to push that on black people. So eventually this, when they say African American, new people are arriving in America, complete different cultures, it would dilute the actual Black American culture. It would dilute them. And I don't blame anybody for trying to protect yourself from being erased, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You see, just make the connection that I'm telling you here. So you're telling a group of people that they have to look towards another homeland when they already are in another homeland. Like, what is going on here? So completely, you're going to ignore their history. Now, a Black American has to identify the same as a Somali when they are not the same people. Like, what are you talking about?
There definitely is a difference.
Right.
But these are differences that can be celebrated or used to separate people. Noting differences does not implicitly make it a bad thing. When you are noticing differences, you can note them for good reasons. It's the same reason we notice different colors or we notice different flowers. That can be a good thing. If you're using it to celebrate, you can use that same thing the same way apartheid did to separate people. When you talk about African Americans, the one conversation that I was talking about was, I was traveling America and I was going to a lot of universities, and I came to realize in many universities in America, the conversation you're having right now, they had an African American student body. And very quickly they noticed a shift, because they could not lump black people into a monolith. They could not lump, because there were people from the Caribbean who said, we are not African American. There were people from Africa who were like, these are not our views. We are Africans in America.
So
there
that's
is a difference.
interesting. Yeah.
And so what people themselves did was they said, you can't just lump us into this group.
Fine. And does that difference mean that it doesn't act as a cohesive form? Because I'm thinking in 2014, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, the celebrated Nigerian author, she said,
When they refer to somebody as celebrated, that's just their own version of what they think is smart, but it doesn't necessarily mean these people are smart, because they want to. You see, like, you've got people, they sit in these classrooms now, all of a sudden they know better than everyone, so they say they are celebrated. But if you have an opposing view to that, you will be considered, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. So this person she's talking about is a Nigerian person. Let's hear what the type of silly statement she's about to make here.
that when she visited the US, she felt that her African-American classmate was annoyed with her because she didn't share their anger. And she said that she was not burdened herself by America's terrible racial history. That difference, does it result in the African Americans who've arrived recently in the United States, such as yourself, acting differently or having a different psyche from the Black Americans who are the descendants of slaves and have lived for...
You see what they are doing? She said African Americans that just arrived. Okay, this Chimamanda that she's talking about, I can see that happen, where some Black people would be angry at her for not being angry, over something, over their own experience. That right there is stupid at best. How can I be angry over your experience? I have to experience it to have any type of feelings about it. You're the one feeling it. I can hear you out, but that doesn't mean I'm going to feel the way you feel. I can empathize though. That's all I can do. But I cannot feel it the way you want me to. Okay? So if you notice, she's saying African American. If someone that comes to America, Black person from Africa or Jamaica, wherever, and they are not American citizens, why would you refer to them as African American? They are not American yet. I'm telling you, these people are fighting so hard to collapse America's fabric that now they just want to paint like, if you're Black immigrant, even if you're not an American resident, a citizen, you're African American. This is the British agenda, people. But we that live in America, we know that's not how it works. Yes, it would make sense to call me an African American because I was born in an African country and now I am an American. So it makes sense to call me that. Or somebody else that immigrates to America, becomes an American citizen, you can call them African American. But now there's a difference. You have to distinguish people. There has to be differences because the differences is what is real. That doesn't mean that's a bad thing because I want to exist as myself and I respect somebody else existing as themselves. That doesn't mean I hate who you are or you should hate who I am. We can coexist. But now, if you are trying to force me to think and feel the way you are, that's going to be a problem. Because imagine, okay, you're telling me your idea of what blackness is, but we're both black. What if I tell you what my idea of blackness is? You notice they never allow you, like your black ideas don't matter because when you tell it, they're like, oh, you're thinking like a white person. Okay, if I'm black, what makes you think I'm thinking like a white person? Like, what if I tell you you're thinking like a Chinese person? But you see, I'm not silly or ridiculous that way. I just look at it like, okay, I don't identify as that. And most people are that way. But you see, when they send people to the 13th grade, the 14th grade, they said, oh, I'm going there to be educated. When you hear somebody say, I'm educated, most of the time they are telling you that they are brainwashed. Because a lot of these people, they show up, they don't have common sense. They don't have common sense. This is why the things they say, there's a huge disconnect between what they're saying and what the real world is. A Somali person in America knows they are Somali. A black American, when they see a Somali person, they know the difference. They know the difference. They're not going to call them an African American, period. They're not going to say that. So why do you want to push this, in the media? You, as a British person, I'm telling you, the British, they want America back. They want it back. They are still not happy about losing in 1776. They want it back and they want to create chaos. They want to do it through pretending to care about black people. But in the meantime, trying to control what is proper language and what isn't. First, they started with the chocolate. Oh, it is offensive to call somebody chocolate. Look, you guys can call me chocolate any day. Any day, you can call me chocolate. Because there's not that much difference between my skin color and chocolate. What is wrong with that? But you see, they use these little tiny, little languages and they try to, poke you. Think about it. They're not telling you things that's going to uplift you. They're always just poking at you to get you angry. And let me tell you, when you are angry, that's when they control you. You cannot control a rational thinking person. The moment they make you angry, it's game over. It's game over. And their beginning point is because Trevor has a lot of followers. So if you want to knock an idea off, you go for the head. So if you can knock that off, then the rest would fall out. But Trevor did such a great job in this interview and put this, Zainab, I like her documentaries, but she's acting like a Jezebel in this one here. I know some people say it's supposed to be hard talk, whatever. I call BS on that because I'll tell you right now, you think they would allow the opposite to happen? How come the hard talk is only one-way street? They are the only ones that get to do the hard talk on you, but you can't do it to them. How come? That's like someone saying, hey, look, I can just keep punching you in your face. It's not a big deal. It's just a punch. But if you punch me in my face, now that's a problem. That is you being gaslit. They are pacifying you so that they can have total control over not just your mind, but your body. They're trying to use shaming tactic, because you hear a lot of black people say, oh, like you say to most black women, oh, hello, beautiful chocolate. They love it. So now they want to make that offensive. That's one more barrier to get this black woman to be upset, so that your dating game, they shoot it down more. You can no longer use big booty. Okay, you can no longer use that. Now they want to get rid of chocolate. What else is going to be left for people to use anymore? Nothing. They're just trying to make the world more angry than what it is. So this is why people like me have to be the opposition to this.
Many, many years, obviously, in the US.
Well, I will say this. I will be careful to not comment on the experience of every single person, because I'm only myself and I can only experience the people that are around me. What I do know is this. In terms of our racial histories, South Africa and America are very similar. When I talk to a black American person, there are many stories that we share as human beings. There are many oppressions that we have experienced through our selective, oppressors. I think those are the things that many people can relate to across the board.
So there's more to unite, even though you say there are differences.
There is definitely more to unite, especially when you are being oppressed as a group. Because you must remember, when you are in the US as a black African man, I can tell you now that if you have an encounter with the police, they are not going to split the hairs.
They're not going to say, excuse me, Trevor Noah, are you from South Africa, or are you from Detroit?
That doesn't happen.
No,
that doesn't happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I wanted to bring to you. I get it. Some people are going to want to say, no, it's not a big deal. No. Since these British people, they want to do this hard talk, why don't they allow other people to do the hard talk on them? Trust me, I have seen a guy named Piers Morgan on the British talk show. He did the hard talk there on them. Guess what they did? Oh, we got to cancel him, because Piers Morgan said, literally, in many words, I pick up what he's saying, that the American woman, the princess, who's, I don't know if I would call her princess, because she's married to Harry, who's supposed to be a prince, but he's now the princess. She's the prince. Literally, this woman is going around trying to shame the British people for, saying they are racist whatsoever. But this woman is not black. Meghan Markle, yeah, that's her name. Meghan Markle is not black. I mean, because first of all, her own mother is mixed, half and half, and her father is white. If they put Meghan Markle in front of a lot of black people, even in America, if she didn't say anything, they're not going to see her. They're not going to be like, she's black. That's not what's going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm just seeing a pattern here. Even you guys look at Black Sid in Gambia. She's using that British style manipulation to manipulate the people. Like, this is literally a thing. It's looking like it's a thing. And like, you have these people on the British media trying to defend, saying, oh, she is black. She is black. And then she said the royal family, somebody said that, how would the baby look like? Okay, ma'am, if you're truly black, why would it be racist for your in-laws to wonder what the baby would look like, because it's different skin color? There's nothing wrong with that. But this woman was another Jezebel that entered Buckingham Palace and created a big wedge in that family. You guys have to be careful about these Jezebels. That's why I'm here to speak on it. She wants to embrace the black color. People, think about this. It's not only her also. Even in America, you got like somebody like Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is an American, football player, quarterback. Colin Kaepernick was going down the drain. He wasn't doing good enough. Like his team, when he was playing for San Francisco in his last season there, he knew he was gonna get benched because they had a better quarterback. I mean, for people who are in the UK, when I say football, I'm not talking about soccer. I'm talking about American football, which is kind of similar to to rugby. But over here it's a big thing. We call it football. Colin Kaepernick did documentaries trying to present himself as black. When you listen to this, if you didn't watch it, you would think this documentary was put together by KKKs. Colin Kaepernick is not black. I don't care what anyone says. I don't see any black in him. Take a look at his features. Pointed nose. I guarantee you, Colin Kaepernick, because they say, where is his dad? They're not telling us where his dad is, but I guarantee you, his dad is probably somewhere in the desert with his pet goat. I guarantee you, somewhere. But now this man, even the emphasis, if you look at all the people that they put forward to you, me, and everybody to identify as black, they are not even real black. So somebody is running a scam, people. Someone is running a scam on black people in general. And I can assure you, black people in America are the target of it. They're the target of it. And that's why I can kind of understand like the haters, some of the things they say. I understand it, but their anger is directed towards the wrong people. Okay, someone is asking, what is real black? Okay, real black would be somebody, like, for instance, if you take a look at me, you're not going to be confused about what I am. You know right away that I'm black. No confusion. But now, if Colin, like, I cannot pass as anything other than black. Okay, Colin Kaepernick, go take a look at him. For example, I'll give you a famous person, or even Trevor Noah that we just watched here. He's mixed. His father is white. You look at Trevor Noah, you can tell that, you can see all the African features in him. You know he's mixed, but you can see this. The nose, the face, you can see all this. Colin Kaepernick is not that way. Not that way. Like, you take a look at Obama. Even Obama, for example, a woman pointed out that Obama is mixed. She got fired from her job. She got fired. So to me, when I say real black is somebody, that look like me or darker than me or about same skin color. I don't know. You guys know what it is. People from, Western, Eastern, South Africa. I don't know. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because in America, people don't want to talk about these things, but they know it is true. So what this Zainab Badawi is doing, which, she's promoting an agenda that is causing confusion for black people. He said, Miko, the great Horn African. Oh, yeah. I mean, Ethiopians are definitely black. I mean, some of them have mixture, but yeah, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia. Yeah, I mean, they are considered black, but you can still see like there's mixture is different. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would consider them Africans for sure. Like, yeah, I would definitely consider them Africans. But in America, it is different. It is completely different. So people like this Zainab Badawi, all this, because they're still trying to push that one drop rule, people. That one drop rule. Programs like this are the ones that are pushing these things. RJ asked, are North Africans black to you? No, North Africans are not black. That's clear. North Africans are not black. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. The North African countries like, Egypt, Morocco, Tunis. No, they, obviously that should be clear. They are not black. But you know what? I see people have questions for me. I'm gonna drop the link. You guys can come in. We can do quick 30 minutes here before I end the show. But here, let me put the link here. All right, the link has been dropped. If you have these questions or have something to say, or what you think about what Zainab Badawi is doing here, come on through and let's have conversation about it. Let's make it quick. But I don't think people are confused by this. Let's see. Milky Mill said, I didn't want to comment, but I feel Mr. Afridamus wants to create a new one drop rule. Nah, I'm not trying to create any new rule here. I'm just talking about what's in existence and how it doesn't make sense. For Black righteous folks, welcome to the show again.
Just congratulate you on doing what you're doing. It's very honorable of you. I feel kind of mixed though, because my heart is full, because it's like I've been waiting for Black American men to get where you are. I don't understand why they're stuck on gender wars and not seeing what's going on with this Pan-African talk. And for you, that has nothing to do with the attacks that's going on against us. You see it and you're talking about it. And I'm just letting you know I'm proud of you. I'm also shameful for the Black American men that are not catching up to this reality, because it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I was the one that told you about this agenda. And I know the reason is that they want us to be a block of blacks so that Africa can claim us to help pay debts owed to China and everybody else. That's what this agenda is all about. And the ringleader, like I told you before, is Dr. Ericana. That's why I get so emotional when I talk about her, because I see her as she is, and that's the agenda, period.
I totally agree. There's definitely something in the air, and if you open your eyes, you would see where this is headed. Because if people are trying to control how you're supposed to think and act, that's a problem.
Yeah, because I do believe that the social media had a lot of people fooled for many years, because they didn't come like they're coming now, right? They let the talk of unity and let's get along with everybody, we're all African, and all this talk, and people got paid off of that, okay? And so it was unthreatening. People were making money paying their bills. They didn't have to go look for jobs. They were just sitting on social media. They got comfortable. And now they're locked in with the rhetoric of Pan-Africanism, not seeing that they're about to get backstabbed. And that's what I'm trying to wake them up to, because I'm kind of late in the game as far as figuring out, because I wasn't on social media years and years and years. I've only been on social media since 2018. And I just noticed it once I appeared. I started realizing something was up about this conversation about we're African. We need to go back to Africa. We need to accept to be African. All this brainwashing talk every single day. And then when the bashing started coming and people were like saying you're self-hating if you don't accept this, then I really understood that this was a propaganda. And that's when I started my channel. And that's why I talk against Pan-Africanism. And people might not get it. But again, the debt of Africa behind corrupt leaders and all that is not the fault of Black Americans. And we should not be scapegoated. But that's the direction in which this agenda is going. And like you said, Britain does want to force us there, and they're coming in the guise of Pan-Africanism and unity. And unity is nowhere seen on the ground in Africa. So you know it's not the truth. And that's what I want to say before I get emotional. But thank you for what you're doing. You really touched me, and I hope that people that are hearing this, especially if you're a Black American man, raise your standards. Wake up and understand you've been used to get a little money for now so that they can turn on you for later and mess up your rights, your liberties, your Americanness, your nationality. That's the agenda. So they're paying you now to tenderize that butt for later. That's a fact. Wake
You,
up.
you're
Thank you.
absolutely correct. Thank you for coming in, and you can always call in here. Enjoy
I
your Sunday.
appreciate you. I really do.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Stoic One said, he sees Afridamus wants to challenge the one drop rule. In fact, now I'm inspired because next show, the topic, I'm going to talk about the one drop rule, because you see that sometimes it's a contentious conversation where literally, like I see this, even like mixed people are not allowed to say they are mixed. People have been so brainwashed. If you say, like some of these mixed people, they would get their feelings hurt if you tell them that they are mixed. Or if a Black person says that, like if they say to Black people, I'm mixed, they would say, oh, what? Are you ashamed of being Black? So it is even the Black people, they make it seem like the Blackness is a disease. Because you see, being Black, it seems like it's 10,000 ways to becoming Black. But being white is a one-way street, Like if you mix, you don't get to claim your other half. You just got to claim the Blackness. So next time, that's what the topic would be. Because I want to hear what you guys think about it. Because they've, like this one drop rule in America is a thing. The British brought that here. You guys know this, right? Because in places like, Brazil, in like the Spanish colonies, these colonialists, they would, mix and marry with the Africans they brought over there. But in America, it was a different ball game. That's where the racial hierarchy, racial rules was put into place. Even if you want to have one drop rule, one single drop of Black in you, guess what? You are only Black. It's like white is one way, this way, and being Black, anybody can claim to be Black, to a point where now, clearly you see there's a huge difference. You see like people like Colin Kaepernick, who's mostly like Arab. I don't see one single Black in him, but he can claim being Black. He can claim being Black. Okay? In America, you go like, for example, you have like people like, on Twitter, that Sean guy. He claims to be Black. Okay? So literally, and even white people like Rachel Dolezal, when she did some turn her skin a little bit, and she was able to pass as Black. So for me, it's like it's confusing now. Yeah, Sean King, thank you. This is Africa. It's confusing. You don't even know who is Black or who isn't. So people like this Zainab Badawi are put forward to promote this agenda. And for me, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think the actual Black people, unless the meaning is now changing, I don't know, maybe in few years they're gonna give people with my skin tone a different, grouping. But the groups that they are showing today, the Meghan Markles, the Sean Kings, the Colin Kaepernicks, the Mariah Careys, these are the Halle Berrys, these are the Barack Obamas, these are the people they are putting in front of us and telling us they are Black. it's like they are literally deceiving us, deceiving the general masses. So I'm just going by what I've observed. But next time, that's what the conversation would be. It's not, because last time I was in this app called Clubhouse, and I had this conversation there, and I pointed out certain points, and some people were getting uncomfortable. Of course, some of the people there, they were mixed, and they didn't like what I was saying. But this is not about what is liking, because people like to say, oh, look at the black women, Africans, Caribbeans, they bleaching their skin. Why do you think they are bleaching their skin? If somebody is mixed, if a child is mixed, like you putting Halle Berry on the cover of the magazine, say this is, oh, the most beautiful woman, black woman, and an actual, like somebody that looks like me, the same genetics, who's not mixed, there's no way I can grow, a woman that looks like me. They cannot grow, you know, their hair like Halle Berry. They cannot look that way. So if you put that up, so the dark skinned women, they know they don't look like that. But from the time they were children, you're telling them this is the standard of beauty, and you're calling those black, like everything goes. Don't Why are you surprised if they bleach their skin to look like that? Because there is a difference. There is a difference. And don't be surprised, all of them are buying, this Brazilian hair, they call it. We've seen some of the ridiculous ones here on YouTube, who bought horse hair and put it on their head, and every 5 minutes they are touching it as if it's real. These are all sad cases, but this is what is happening. I don't think most people are even thinking about the psychology, the deep psychology about this. Because imagine when you have a child, you put that child there, and you're showing them Mariah Carey, Meghan Markle, black child, by the way, and you're saying, oh, these are black people, this is the standard of beauty. But they don't look like that. They know they can never look like that. But this is what is being promoted as standard of beauty. So it's as if, okay, some, white liberals or some people decided, you know what, this is our way of cutting out actual black people from being on the magazines or in these positions. So therefore, guess what? We would use other humans who shades is closer to us, who are mixed. We're going to use them, and put them up there. Hey, people, if you don't believe me, just pay attention, right? Today, as I speak in America, pay attention on TV everywhere. The people that they are putting as the freedom fighters and all that, go take a look at them. I mean, are they calling these people black? But why are these people the ones who their blackness? They look nothing like actual black people. They're closer to being Caucasians. Why are they being called black? Have you ever thought about that? Do you not understand, how this is mentally and psychologically making young actual black children hate themselves? So that's why you shouldn't be surprised by what you are seeing. It's because of what is being put in front of you 24/7, what is being pushed, So it's like when you talk about it, I mean, to me, when I saw the mixed woman, talking about, how, she talked about how she's proud of being mixed, and, she's half white. And I respect that, because you're acknowledging the other half of your parent. You're acknowledging that there's nothing wrong with being mixed. But now, when she pointed this out, and then she said Barack Obama is mixed just like her, but he's choosing to just say he's black. They fired her. That makes me think, okay, wait a minute. What are they trying to hide here? What are they trying to hide here? All they got to do is, even since they say they have a lot of mixed people, they can just create another category, because the category is already there. It's already there. It's right in front of us. But if Halle Berry, if they are saying this is the standard of beauty, okay, how many actual dark skin women can compete against that? They can't compete against it, because you cannot change your nature. You can't change it. You are who you are. I mean, we all have the right to exist. But if somebody else is deciding for you, that becomes a problem. So next time, that's what's going to be the program here. Okay? But before I leave you guys, I'm going to play my new rap song. I hope you enjoy it.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. What's the problem? I'm pulled up. Big flex, my swole up. Hard body, they fold up. Shawty say I done glowed up. Double text on my phone up. Fuck with your boy, I'm the man of the year. I'm not a fan of your peers. Serve him with fate, I'ma hand him the shears. He not the man of your peers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that song. But I'll see you guys, in the very near future. Think about what I've said here. Hey, somebody's doing something, okay? Somebody. We would never know until we actually question it. That's all I'm doing, and that's all I'm getting you to do. And I hope you enjoy this. Audrey, Audrey is cracking me up talking about the roll call song. Hey, if you missed that song, make sure you go back and check it. The roll call from Ghana. The new Pan-Africanist rapper. Hey, people, we all just can't just go along with what is being put out here. Somebody has to go against it. That's all I'm saying. Think about it. It's nothing against anyone, but we got to think. That's all it is. Thank you, and I hope you have a blessed Sunday. Don't let me keep you waiting. Bye.